Finally got a good layer coming in this Super Drop, Garden Buds. Let's get into it. Alright, we finally have our first inside magic themed secret layer that's coming out in the March Super Drop, and it looks pretty good actually. Some clarification, it looks like they finally got their numbers right and their dates right. SpongeBob is going to be a part of this Super Drop, so keep your eyes peeled when this all drops on the 24th. But today we're talking about Garden Bud. Let's kick off with the first card. First up, we've got Ashaya, Soul of the Wild. This is a $6 card, $8 in the foil. Seen 4 reprints, last saw it just 6 months ago, ranked 928 on EDH Rec. The foiling, I think, for this whole layer looks really good. I love the big M for Ashaya here. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. My only critique of the art is that it's kind of shoving the font around, so while we still have the rules text there, it is kind of, it can be a little difficult to read, but, not too bad. I'm not too upset by this. Next up, we've got Elvish Reclaimer. This is a $4 card, 13 in the foil. Seen 3 reprints, last saw this 7 months ago, ranked 2124 on EDH Rec. Solid looking card. I really like the borderless art here. I think this looks really nice. Most of them actually are except for Ashaya, all of these the foils are a lot more than their non-foil counterparts. They're not crazy expensive except for the final card. So we're still going to knock this whole layer for scarcity foils, but they're not awful scarcity. It's mostly just old foils that haven't seen a reprint. They've seen plenty of reprints, but just most of them in Commander products, so nothing getting a foil reprint. Next up is Harrow. This is a 33-cent card, $6 in the foil. Seen 16 reprints, last saw it 4 months ago. Ranked 245 on EDH Rec. I think this art is stunning. It's probably one of my favorites. Despite being an OG Harrow lover and player, I think this new art is really nice looking. This is one of those layers that I think the foiling really does add to the art. Sometimes I think it's neither here nor there, so if you like foils, you don't like foils. It doesn't really matter. It's just your personal preference, but I do think just based on how these look, based on how this art is set up, I do think that the foiling actually does add quite a bit to the art here. Next up in the layer, we've got World Shaper. This is a $2 card, $6 in the foil. Seen 4 reprints, last saw it 11 months ago. Ranked 1081 on EDH Rec. Solid card, sees plenty of play, decent include to round out the layer. But finally, we've got the heavy hitter, Horn of Greed. This is an $18 card, $33 in the foil. Seen only 1 reprint before this, and that was 8.5 years ago. Ranked 2366. I think this art looks awesome. I really do like the style that they go here. As I said, I think the foil adds a lot to this kind of style of art when they've got a lot of just open space, not a ton of detail. So it really does add with the foil. I think it looks good. We haven't seen a reprint, so we were in desperate need of one. It's a great card, sees decent amount of play. Happy to see it in this layer. Looking at the layer stats, we've got $30.34 in the singles for the non-foil, which is great. We actually just came over the edge there of what it actually costs to buy this, which is asking for a lot these days because they've got it pretty dialed in to make sure that they are taking you for all that you are worth. The foil is coming to $67.19. Again, each one of these is kind of like a scarcity foil just because they are just kind of older foils, except for the Horn of Greed, which is double the price and doing a good bit of lifting here. Both layers are indeed worth it, but do keep in mind that there is a little bit of a scarcity foil play going on with the foils. Looking at the ratings, we've got a 5 in the financial. It's 5 for both the foil and the non-foil. Just keep in mind that there is that little asterisk there because of the foil scarcity stuff, but overall, this layer does actually have a decent amount of value in it, which is great. Playability is a 5. This is the most playable layer we've gotten in the Super Drop so far. Love to see that. I love when layers are playable because that's when you get to show them off and not just hide them in a binder like Gollum. Art, I gave a 4. I'm taking off a little points just because I don't love how the text has to work its way into this, and it can be a little illegible, especially on some of the wordier cards. But overall, I think this art is gorgeous, and I really do like it quite a bit. So total scores for Garden Buds is a 4 in the foil and a 4.5 in the non-foil. Again, taking that half point off because of the scarcity foils. Overall, I think this is a great include, and I think it's one that if you love these cards, if you like landfall, I think these are great includes. While they're not super stapley, just for overall Commander, in the niche of landfall and Simic stuff, these are great cards. So I think they will be a happy addition to any of your decks that you are playing with them. Anyways, that's all I've got got for you today. Stick around. We've got probably one more, maybe a couple. Usually they do 6 of these for a super drop. Sometimes they do 8. If you do want that information as soon as it comes out, please hit that subscribe button. Help me appease the YouTube algorithms. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.